Okay, so we're here today at Thruxton Circuit in the paddock and been very kindly lent a Mini Libre to show you around. So this belongs to Dan Lewis and it's got an 8-port fitted. So let's have a quick look. Nice lightweight removable bonnet, carbon fibre. Put that to one side, make sure nobody runs over it. So what have we got? It's a 1293cc all steel engine. By that we mean steel Arrow MED crankshaft and rods. So this engine's built by Tom Bell, TBR Racing. This should be a really strong bottom end. And it's going to have an 8-port specific camshaft. We've got full fuel injection on the front. So one of our ITGs, air filters, Gem V throttle bodies, so individual throttle bodies. You can fit it right inside a round nose front end. If you've got Webers stuck right out the front, you're probably never going to pass the drive-by noise test, especially on a track day. You'll see it's we call it a cross-flow design, something that would have been originally developed in the mid-60s. 5-port A-series where you have 2 inlets and 3 exhausts. That's done for packaging. So when you're looking at full performance engine like this competition engine, do you have individual inlets on the front and 4 individual exhausts on the back. You do tend to get a bit more low down torque, especially when it's mapped on fuel injection. Power wise, this is 1293, so similar spec to a Mini Miglia, but it will be running perhaps 10 or 15 horsepower more than a regular 1293cc Miglia, partly because of the cross-flow head and partly because you're running injection, so it's fully mapped, so it's a lot more accurate. Okay, so if you look on down here, we've got what's called a wasted spark coil pack. So that's from a modern car, it'd be something like a Vauxhall Vectra or similar. You've got individual leads coming off to the plugs, which are kind of hidden right down inside the head there. On this one, it's running an Omex. You could run it with a DT8. I mean, you could run one of these cross-flow head installations like this. You could probably run it with all manner of ECUs quite effectively. Gearbox, we've got a MED 4-speed dog box. Very popular gear set. It's won countless championships, races over the years. Gives a real nice firm gear change, 5-dog engagement gear set. You might have seen that on some of our other videos. And then what else? So cooling, we've got an electric water pump just in here. So this would be a Craig Davis water pump from Australia. Electric, so you can run it independently from the speed of the engine. Gives you a little bit more horsepower, especially on an engine like this. It's going to be quite a high RPM engine, then that will make perhaps 4 or 5 horsepower difference. And then behind the nice MED grille here, you've got a front mounted radiator. Without taking the front end off, a brief look at the suspension. So this is running Öhlins fully adjustable dampers. It's going to have adjustable tie rods, adjustable lower arms, and also ball joint spacers, which is all about correcting the roll centre of the front end. If you look just around the front here as well, you'll see we've got a C-Trab oil cooler just tucked away just behind the front light, just in there, nice and compact. That's really neat installation. Pop the bonnet back on for now, and I'll show you a few other parts of a Mini Libre. So we've got Dunlop slick racing tyres. They do a cut version of these as well for the wet. And we've got our Mini Miglia MED split rim alloys, lightweight, rebuildable. So if you hit a curb, not that they're really designed for going out shopping, but if you were using it on a daily car and you hit a curb, or if you're out on the racetrack and you bash wheels, then you can rebuild inner, outer, centres, all separate. Nice polish. Looks really cool. You've got wide, these are called Miglia wheel arches, I believe originally developed by Curly Specialised Moulding, so they tend to fit the best, the original ones. Okay, so this car was prepared to a Mini Libre by Mintro in Worcester. I think it was originally built by Owens Fabrication. So if we just open up the door and have a quick look inside, see it's simple in there, so quite far removed from the original road Mini. Floor mounted pedal box in this one. You can just see the Omex ECUs tucked away behind there. Nice simple dashboard. Obviously these cars do have a full bulkhead box behind there as well. Little dash pod on here as well. I believe that's a Curly carbon fibre stack. So it's digital down the bottom and then a nice analog readout. Goes right around to 10,000 RPM. Engine like this, you're probably looking at 8,500 that we'll go to. Dan's being flashed, he's got a carbon fibre crash helmet just down there, ready to go. Then we've got a fire extinguisher system there and a small little race battery at the back. If you see, the roll cage makes up an integral part of the car, so you could probably drive this car just on the roll cage. It's almost like a space frame. Bit of an exaggeration, but it does form the backbone of the strength of the car. We've got right down the centre line there, we've got a beam going down that splits out to the front, full crossweb bars at the front there. And then the seat frame's all mounted into the roll cage as well. So thankfully these cars don't crash very often, but when they do, they are one of the safest little cars out there. We've got full beam in the top as well, the cage. So this is it's not a brand new car as such, but it's quite a new spec cage that it's got in there. And then you have the wrap around racing seat that these cars will have to run. It's a bit of head protection. This will be a 5 or a 6 point harness with a crutch strap just down there. And that's pretty much it for the interior. Let's have a look in the boot. So coming around to the boot, we've got an Owens fabrication fuel tank. These are quite common in Mini 7 Racing Club. And if you look just here, we've got the anti-roll bar. So these cars run a rear anti-roll bar only, which tends to promote a little bit of oversteer, reduce the understeer, so you end up lifting an inside rear wheel. On the brakes, turn in, the back will step out a little bit, front a grip, and that seems to be the fastest way around these tracks. So the anti-roll bar goes down, connects to the back of the drums, and then you've got blades just here connecting both sides. You've got it's got 3 different holes on there for adjustment, a little bit of strengthening around here, and that all connects to the roll cage where it's mounted. You'll see the boot floor is completely gone. As standard, obviously there was a battery on this side, and then the fuel tank sat over there. That's all gone for safety. Got a curly carbon fibre boot floor for the tank to sit on, nice and flat. Makes exhaust fitment a bit easier as well. And then you'll see on this particular car it's running fuel injection, so the fuel pump's actually underneath the floor here, and it's got a regulator, a Bosch fuel regulator and filter all built in. So it means on this particular setup, it's nice and simple, it's a Bosch unit, and it just means you can run one fuel line down to the throttle bodies. That's a quick look at a Mini Libre. These race alongside the Mini Miglias. It's one of the longest standing championships in Europe, if not the world. Gives you a good idea of the modifications that go into this from a standard road car. If we get a chance later on in the year, we'll take a look at a Mini 7 and a Mini Miglia as well for you. So thanks for watching. Cool.